how important is marketing for a developer? Okay. And not just a developer. Okay. If you're just a code monkey, and what do I mean by a code monkey? All you do is code and you work for other people, and forever you're never planning on building your own business or creating your own applications. Is if you're the type of person that likes to keep it safe, get out of this video. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay. This is not for you. Okay. If you want to be a code monkey, you could be a code monkey. Okay. Work for somebody else for the rest of your life. But at some point, if you're not like that, you actually want to create your own applications, right? If a guy like Mark Zuckerberg was to be like, well, you know what? I'm just going to work for somebody else and let me build a website for them. Okay. Let's say if you ever seen the movie or Facebook, right? The social network, right? You can go in there, check that movie out, right? And that's just there's a lot of fiction and a lot of stuff that didn't happen, but what's real in that movie is that the twins came to Mark Zuckerberg and were like, "Hey man, we want to create a social network." Okay. Mark Zuckerberg had an option. He could have said, "You know what? Okay, guys, I'll build it for you guys." Okay. And that's it. I'll build the network for you guys. And that's it. He got paid for his time. Here's $50,000, Mark Zuckerberg. Here you go, kiddo. Move on. Okay. And we'll hire a couple of other developers who become senior developers. Right. You know what Mark Zuckerberg did? He said, nah, you know what? This is a pretty cool idea. Right. And you know what? I'm the one that's going to build it and I'm going to build it from scratch. So I'm going to build it for myself. Okay. Now, nowadays it's not as easy as it used to be to create an application and come in and just say, I got a great idea, let me build it, right? There's a lot of key factors that you need to take into account. Okay, first of all, Google, good old Google, does not put your website in the top page unless you have a following. Okay, so this is where marketing and social media and everything comes into the picture. Okay, all right. It doesn't matter if you're trying to open up your own freelance company, you're trying to do a digital agency, you're trying to do your own web development agency, you're trying to do your own startup, you're trying to create the next Facebook, you're trying to create the next Snapchat, right? It doesn't matter what you do. You need to understand how marketing works nowadays, because marketing is the way how you're going to get your applications to have users. Okay. And the more users that you have, the more money that you make from your advertising. Okay. So if you don't understand how those things work, to be honest with you, you're getting left behind, because there's guys like myself that understand how marketing works, that understand the different tools. And, that's one of the things that I'm so grateful, right? I'm so grateful, right? That I never work for a company like Google. I never work for Facebook. I never work for Amazon. I never work for none of these companies, right? To be honest with you, because they get people to be very comfortable at where they at, right? And they tell you, hey man, we got free laundry, we got free food, we got this and that. They keep those developers, who are, a lot of them are geniuses, right? We consider geniuses, right? They keep them happy, content, right? While the guys that's on top make all the bread, that moolah, that money, that blue cheese. You get what I'm saying? Right? They keep all of that while you get a little 10%, not even 10%, right? Those poor guys, they pay off the whole company with probably less than 3 or 4% of the income. So in reality, it's like it's crazy. Okay. Now, like I said, thank God I didn't go to any of those companies, because I actually learned by going to work on my own, right? I was on Craigslist, right? I was on Craigslist figuring out how to get clients before I even got my first job, right? At the time, there was what was it, Odesk? Now I think they call it Upwork, right? But before it was Odesk, right? There's a lot of different places where I used to go on and try to get small gigs, right? So I knew how to attract people to my work and be able to make money through there. Okay, so that gave me that little entrepreneurial spirit, right? To say, you know what, I got the skills and I know I could get paid by other companies that they're gonna hire me, but at the same time, I want to make my own money, because who wants to be working for somebody for the rest of their lives? Not me. I don't know about you. If you want to do that, hey man, let me know. I'm hiring. Okay. I'll hire you to do my shit. You get what I'm saying? So that's just how it is, right? So for me, I was always trying to figure out how can I bring, traffic to my applications, right? There's people, this is the different ways, guys, right? You got marketing, you got paying advertising, right? You got from there you got social media, right? How to build a following. Okay, if you could build a following, it doesn't matter what it is. I've seen people that create small figurines, right? Small little models. Okay, and then from there they go and create a website, and then from there they have, let's say for example, Instagram that only shows like small figurines, like small little let's say Gundam characters or Gundam models, right? People build those things on their own. They take pictures, right? And then from there they go and say, check out my website, link to their website, and in their website they have all the models that they built. Okay, they're able to sell them themselves. Okay, so if somebody doesn't want to build them themselves, they sell it to them. Okay, it costs like $40. The person goes and sells it to them for 160. Okay, now mind you, $40, sometime that he invested into it, now he's selling it to them for 160. Okay, now let's say for example a developer, right? You might create a application for cryptocurrencies, right? If you don't understand how marketing works and you don't know how to get your application in people's faces, okay, then your application is going to be another GitHub repo. Nobody knows what the hell is in there and nobody cares because you never put it out there. Okay, and you don't know how to actually market to the people. But a guy that comes in and says, you know what? I'm going to come in, put in a couple of pictures of cryptocurrency, a couple of amazing quotes on Instagram. Next thing you know, this guy builds a following of 5,000, 4,000 people, right? And everybody thinks that the guys that you might see 100,000, 500,000, 300,000 following, a million subscribers, et cetera, followers on Twitter, a million on Instagram, right? People think that those guys are the ones that really make the income, really make that big money. Guys, it's not really those guys. Those guys, a lot of times, they get a lot of following, right? And popularity doesn't mean influence. Okay. So you can have a small community and get more money out of that community than somebody who has a million followers. Okay, because it's a niche, it's a small niche that you're serving them with specific content and then specific things that you are creating yourself, and you can make income from that. So at the same time, let's say somebody who is an HTML email developer. Let's say I'm just giving you dropping of gems right now. Pick them up as you like. Okay, let's say you want to become an HTML email developer, right? And you're working in your house and you say, you know what? I'm freelancing this, and that. Let me go to social media, create a bunch of different images from the emails that I've created, put in the right hashtags, put in the right information in there, and then say, click on my profile. Okay. That drives traffic to your website. Okay. So then now, because there's traffic being driven from your website, from Instagram or from Twitter or wherever you're at, right? Now Google sees that and says, you know what? People want this website. Okay. So when they search for HTML emails or freelancer, now Google says, you know what? Let's put this guy, little Billy, higher on the ranks, right? So now it's all part of SEO, but it's also part of marketing. Okay. Same thing as one of you guys. You guys might have a specialty, something that you guys might know. Hey, you might be the best, I don't know, the best Golang developer. Okay. If you know how to create freaking amazing Golang projects or software that you can create, or you could set up, it doesn't matter what it is, fill in the blank, whatever language it could be, right? You can actually come in and say, you know what, I'm gonna create a course on this. Okay, now some people might say, they look down as on a course, oh my god, this guy is gonna sell a course, this isn't that. I was the same person before, right? But the truth is that everybody wants something. I could come here and say, hey, man, I created a Teletubby framework. Okay. Now 20,000 people want to use the Teletubby framework. Okay. Nobody knows how to use it, though. It seems like an amazing framework. Then you, as the Golang developer, you're expert, right? You come in and you create that, right? Now you're creating a service for somebody. You're creating somebody a course, or you're creating some type of content that they need, right? You're just supplying the demand. You get what I'm saying? Now, you could stay at home and be like, oh man, I'm not gonna do that. Or say, oh, there's guys that come in and create a Golang course, and well, you're gonna be broke at home. You get what I'm saying? Where there's an opportunity, you need to be there. And as a developer, you have a skill that pretty much you could print money, to be honest with you. Okay. Some people might say, Joe, you're here on CodingPhase.com. You got CodingPhase.com and you sell courses in there. Bro, if I didn't sell courses on CodingPhase.com, I will make so much more money because I will focus on my applications, right? My applications have been stagnant, right? I've been focused on teaching and doing all the stuff, right? And it's been growing little by little, okay? But my main income has been stuck at 20,000 per month for the past 2 years and a half. So in reality, I put that on hold to create all of those courses. Okay, maybe right now it won't pay off, but who knows? 5 years from now, that could pay off. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. Now, if I don't understand how marketing works, I wouldn't be able to get the many views that I got. How many times have you seen guys that have amazing content and only get like 100 views? They don't know how marketing works. They don't know how to put themselves out there. And it's a shame because as a developer, if you really pay attention just a little bit, you could actually understand marketing more than even the guys that call themselves quote unquote marketing geniuses. You know why? Because you actually understand the technology behind it. Okay. You actually understand how cookies work. You actually understand how a routing system works. You actually understand how advertising works. How does it show up? You know what I'm saying? You understand how SEO works because you're actually working with the websites themselves. Okay. Now, as developers, we do this for companies all the time, right? I go to a company, they tell me, hey man, add Google Tag Manager, add Google AdWords. So the tags for Google AdWords, add Facebook Pixels, add all of these things. But I've seen so many developers that they go and they copy the code that Facebook gives you, but don't go in and pay attention to what's going on to that Facebook pixel. They don't understand that, hey, man, this is how the traffic is coming in. It's tracking the person. It doesn't know who it is exactly, but there's an ID of that person. Doesn't know, hey, this, like, let's say, for example, somebody comes to my website, right? You go to CodingPhase.com. You visit to the website right now. Facebook doesn't know who you are, but Facebook gives you an ID. It doesn't give you like, hey, Joe Santos Garcia is ID number 33, 34, whatever. No, it knows your ID. It doesn't know your name. So now with that, anybody that comes to my website, I can come in and retarget them and give them the same information that they saw, right? And because another thing, if you don't understand how marketing works, nobody buys, nobody believes you, right? The first time that they see you. That's just how it is, right? I don't believe when a random guy comes in and shows up on my live stream or shows up on my advertising, I'm watching PewDiePie or whatever, right? I don't believe that guy. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. But with retargeting, you're able to tell them, hey man, check this out. Remember, these are the benefits why you should go to codingphase.com, etc. So I'm just giving you an example from codingphase.com. Let's bring it to an application that you might have. Let's say you create an application that converts, I don't know, let's say something simple, converts dollars to Libra, or let's say dollars to cryptocurrency. Okay, so some type of Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? So you come in, you create this application, right? Then now somebody that was searching for that application, they go to your website, but now you have a paywall. You give them a free trial, but there's a paywall, meaning that if they're gonna use your API or they're gonna use some type of your work, right? Or have a extra content, extra feature that you might give them for, let's say, $10, right? You actually come in and you say, okay, this person visited my website, so he's interested in this. Okay, so now with a Facebook pixel, I could tag them and say, you know what? Hey man, you create a small advertising that says, hey man, I know you came to the website. I know you like this content, right? I know you like this work. Come here, come check it out, right? Nobody likes to buy on the first time. You know how many times I've gone to Amazon and I search for things, right? And I'm like, I kind of want it, but then I don't want it. Okay, now if you show up again to somebody's on a Facebook or on a Google or YouTube, etc., now you just reminded them of like, hey man, you remember this item that you wanted to buy on Amazon? Hey, you can actually buy this. You get what I'm saying? So all those tools, all those features that other people use, the big companies use, right? You can use it for your application, your own application, right? The companies that hire you use it. So you need to learn how to use it for your own applications. The idea that you're gonna come in and not know any of these things is ridiculous. You have to actually go out of your way and start learning a little bit about marketing, how it works. Okay. Marketing is not a scam. Marketing is not a way to take advantage of people or be like, oh man, I'm selling something that's not real. No, marketing is really a way to understand the tools that's around you. Okay, knowing marketing is just knowing the tools that is available to you. Okay, when I like back in the days, like people will put in advertising on TV because that was all that was available. Now we know that most people spend time on their phone. So now we have to advertise through the phone. Google no longer gives us the right information on Google searches, right? So, like, let's say, for example, I want to search Kelvin Davis and I want to search for his application, right? If Kelvin Davis doesn't understand that, hey, for you to show up on Google's search results, you're gonna have to pay, right? If you don't understand that, then his application, even though it's one of the best applications, is never going to show up on Google's top results. It might show up on page 4. You get what I'm saying? Now, even when you do a simple search for anything, the first 4 to 5 links that's there is all advertising. Okay. Now, if you don't even understand how does that work, then you're not part of the conversation. You get what I'm saying? Then now, let's say you have a very cool application, and you might say, "Man, I could really take off with this application, but I don't know how to do it." So then now you come in and you say, "Oh, I need a marketing guide to do this." No, you don't. You don't need a marketing guide. This thing is like super simple. We actually program. We actually make difficult shit, right? The guys that's doing marketing and all this marketing geniuses and the gurus, those guys are selling services for thousands of dollars to small businesses and thousands of dollars to developers to come in and be like, well, we got the best way of doing this, and we can guarantee you sales, we could guarantee you leads and clicks and etc. All of those things you can learn it on your own. You don't even need to go and pay a company like a marketing agency and give them let's say $2,000 a retainer fee for them to just start. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. If you are a developer and you're still trying to be out here just a developer, life is not going to work out for you. You get what I'm saying? And once again, this is for the people that want more, right? You could become a developer. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. All I'm saying is if you want more, you need to understand what's around your environment, okay? If you want to become a business owner, you want to become a leader in whatever field you're in, you need to understand how this works. Okay, there's guys that are not even talented as developers. To be honest with you, there's guys that are not even talented, right? But they show up on Twitter and they know how to work with things, and they'll come up and show up in freaking 180,000 followers, not because they're the best developers, but because they know how to use the platform. Same thing in YouTube. There's guys that just pretty much aggregators and guys who are, like Amy Schumer, just come in, take ideas from other people. They could come in and blow up, become 1 million subscribers, 2 million subscribers, right? Why they do that? Because they know how to use the platform and they know how to understand how marketing works. Okay. So at the end of the day, you got to understand that being blind out here and not actually paying attention to how marketing works is going to hurt you in the long term, because you're not going to be able to take your business to the next level.